Hello, everyone. My name is Zinat Islam, and I'm the Relations Manager Academia Network at Yunus Center. Welcome to Lecture 21 of our YSBC Web Lecture Series. Today's lecture is a very special one, as you can see. We don't have one speaker, but we have 5 specialists who will talk on the topic of creating social business leaders, introducing the Yunus Professional Masters in Social Business and Entrepreneurship at the Asian Institute of Technology, Thailand. For accomplishing this task, we have today our moderator, Dr. Farhana Ferdousi, Assistant Professor, Southeast Business School, and Director, Institute of Research and Training, IRT, Southeast University, Bangladesh. The speakers today are Dr. Faiz Shah, Yunus Professional Masters Program Lead and Director, Yunus Center, Asian Institute of Technology, Thailand. Dr. Lakeesha Ranso, Director, Enterprise Engagement, AIT School of Management. We also have with us Dr. Mokbul M. Ahmed, Faculty and Academic Program Chair, AIT School of Environment, Resource and Development. We also have our very own Professor M. Jahangir Alam Chaudhry, Professor, Department of Finance and Executive Director, Center for Microfinance and Development, University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. And finally, we have Mr. Callum McKenzie, Co-founder and Director, Programs, Yunus Thailand Foundation. I know there's a lot of interest in the master's program around social business, and this conversation will certainly give you an idea how to go about it and who to contact for further information. So with this in mind, let us start today's session and call upon Professor Mohammad Yunus for his opening remarks. Professor Yunus.
Thank you, Zinat. It's very exciting today. It's a star-studded program today. It's very special. This is a departure from our way that we have been presenting this lecture series, which is 2 persons, one is speaker and there's moderator. Now, in this one, we made a very special arrangement for a special reason, because we want to focus on designing and presenting a very special kind of course, Yunus Professional Master's Degree, sponsored by AIT in Bangkok. So we thought this needs a special attention, bringing everybody together who are behind it. It's a very special kind of course because we wanted to give the best to it for one reason. Another reason, we wanted to have it as a 360-degree learning process. It's not just a classroom. It's not just on the ground experience. We mix everything. The classroom experience and the theoretical issues in the classroom, and also on the ground experiences, management issues, finance issues, so that you see in every single angle how social business can be done, what it's all about. You become a very specialized you get a very specialized understanding of social business. That's why this course is designed, and we put everything behind it. So we are all together in it. We wanted to tell you that it's not an effort of one individual, it's a collective effort to make sure that we come up with a good course. It's a beginning. This one that we'll be presenting here is a beginning of it. We continue to grow with it. And you are part of that growth process. So I would invite all the students who are still thinking about it, joining in, signing in, to attend that course. And this is our flagship course that we want to learn from it ourselves, and also get the students to learn with us how an educational program can be designed for the university and academic purposes and so on. Because academia ultimately is the key in getting these things into the mind, into the thinking process, into the changing process of the things that we are talking about. So this is very important. I don't want to introduce each one of you individually who will be speaking. I give the floor to now Farhana to start the conversation. This is a conversation for everybody to participate. And if you have a question, please come up with the question so that it becomes a part of this conversation. Thank you and welcome again for this very special session. Farhana, it's yours. You are muted. Can you unmute? Okay.
Thank you, Professor Yunus and Yunus Center, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this great session. It is my great honor to be on the same panel with a world-renowned person whom I follow my role model. And today I am really excited and delighted to introduce Yunus Professional Masters on Social Business and Entrepreneurship. Because this program is much awaited, and more importantly, the program is going to be implemented by a world-renowned university, Asian Institute of Technology, AIT, Thailand. And this university is well known for their contribution in creating leaders in the field of technology, management, and sustainable development. We know Professor Yunus' vision is to create a world with zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero carbon emission. And the worldwide COVID situation is driving us toward no going back, which would require new leaders who will not be job seekers and profit seekers at the cost of environment. Rather, these new leaders will be creating a world with 3 zeros. And we appreciate that AIT has taken the timely and right initiative to create such leaders through designing a unique program with having all components of creating social business. And so without further ado, let us hear from the heroes who have taken this initiative today. Now, first I will go to Dr. Faiz Shah. Dr. Faiz Shah is a director, Yunus Center AIT, and founding president, Yunus, Thailand. And I always admire Dr. Faiz Shah for his great contribution for social business. Since 2009, AIT has established Yunus Center and is playing the pioneering role to harness the power of social business through their dynamic leadership. It is indeed a great journey to incorporate social business knowledge within the general business discipline. And through this initiative, the students, business leaders, and professionals will get a chance to know about the theories and practice of social business. Dr. Faiz Shah, would you please tell us about the objective of YPM program that you are going to launch, and also please introduce the operational aspect of this program?
Right. Thank you, Dr. Farhana. It's a wonderful occasion, as Professor Yunus has said. But let me first start by thanking, the Professor Yunus himself, because the idea that came at one of the social business days in Dhaka. And I remember Professor Yunus saying that he would like to see a day where the classroom would go to the students rather than students coming to the classroom. So we started thinking even at that early stage. And then in 2017, Professor Yunus kindly shared with us a set of minimums that he wanted to have visualized into a program. So that's when really, in earnest, we were able to start building this. And we really wanted AIT to do this because at AIT also, we had this momentum building towards degrees for non-traditional and non-conventional students. And the Yunus Center was created at AIT for the purpose of producing knowledge infrastructure for non-conventional students. So it all came together very nicely. Now the objective is very similar, very clear. The objective is that we wish to build social business leaders. Now, the thing with most of our conventional degree programs is, and they're excellent programs out there, is that they focus on a subject in depth, and most of the learning takes place around a particular subject or a particular area of specialization. That's the convention, and it's a very successful convention. But when you approach social business and you wish to create social business leaders, you can't bracket them into one, two, or a small number of specialisms. These people have to not only have the skills, they need to know how to ask the right questions in the kind of world that we want to create, and in the paradigm that we now exist in. And then they have to have the tools in which to answer, or by which to answer those questions. And thirdly, they need to have a very hands-on approach to learning. Now, I'm not saying other universities are not doing this. What I'm saying is that we were able to bring it together in a unique formula. So the structure will come later, but the operational aspect is very simple. AIT has a number of schools. three schools: the School of Engineering, the School of Development, Environment and Resources and Development, and then there is the School of Management. We have made an effort to bring all the schools together to play a particular role in a part of this program. And it is brought together by a practicum, which will be described later, which will be managed from the Yunus Center in Dhaka. So this is probably the only program of its kind, which is so specialized yet interdisciplinary, and it also is directly linked to the work that the Yunus Center does in Dhaka. So I could go on because it's taken me like almost 4 years to build this in a way that we can talk about it. So, I don't want to get into that. But finally, the quick comment is that our first cohort launches in a week. And I see in the participant box, all 6 of our new incoming students are here. So I'm welcoming them, and I'm introducing them to Professor Yunus and yourselves. They will probably ask questions in the QA session or in the box. So I'd like to put a special welcome in for our first cohort of students. I would like to name them, but we don't have time, but they will pop up in the QA session. I hope that was useful.
Good. You have to unmute.
Okay, Professor Faiz Shah, would you please tell us this, what will be the strength of AIT to make this program powerful and successful?
Well, again, the mandate that AIT was created was a development mandate. So we like to joke at AIT that we are a development organization disguised as a university. So the original intent of creating AIT was to create an engine for development growth, creating professionals which would create the kind of solutions that would build their countries up from where they stand or where they stood in 1959 to meet the standards of the modern world. Most of our countries who were the founding members of AIT, this is a group of countries that own the university, hosted by the Thai government. They have now, AIT graduates are now playing important roles in investing or in building their country's development infrastructure, their engineering infrastructure, and their management infrastructure. So this program conforms very closely to the AIT original mandate, which is to create cutting-edge professionals that would lead their countries and their communities into the path of accelerated and sustainable development. So that way, it fits extremely well. But we have taken a departure in that no other program is so closely integrating all the 3 schools and a number of outreach centers the way this one does. So it's also a first for AIT that we are very proud of.
Now, I would like to ask Professor Jahangir Aluk Choudhury. Professor Jahangir, as we know, he is the Professor of Finance and Executive Director, Center for Microfinance and Development, and he is also serving as an academic advisor to Yunus Center. And I'm really honored to work with Professor Jahangir several times through the YSBC network, the Social Business Academia network. And my question to Professor Jahangir, would you please explain what will be the role of Yunus Center in providing this master program?
Thank you, Dr. Ferdousi, for your kind words. Basically, before that, I would like to thank Professor Yunus for nominating me to the steering committee of the program, and this steering committee is going to manage the whole program. And I'm delighted to be part of this program. Thank you. So basically, Yunus Center's role is going to be twofold. In the first category, it's going to be a supervisory role. So basically, you see, social business has got some principles which have been devised by professors. So Yunus Center is going to look after whether the program teaches these principles properly, whether the courses are designed according to the principles, whether the program deviates from this principle. So this is going to be the supervisor role. And I'm sure this supervisor role will help the program to stay on track, to have like a help the students to understand what are the visions of Professor Yunus with respect to social business to make this world better. And this is going to be the first role. In the second role, this is going to be totally a partnership role. So Dr. Faiz has already mentioned that Yunus Center is going to be an integral part of the program. And this program is going to be manage jointly AIT and Yunus Center. So in the second category, Yunus Center will get involved in the teaching process. It will be involved in the process of supervising students to such extent. So that in the whole design, there is a thing that students will come to Bangladesh to visit Yunus Center as well as social businesses. So during that visit, students will have the opportunity to listen to Professor Yunus, Ms. Lamia Moshed, Executive Yunus Center, and other experts, those who actually familiar with the social business concept and the practical aspects. So they will be able to listen to these leaders, social business leaders, as well as academicians like Farhana, Ferdousi, and others, those who work in social business in Bangladesh. So they'll be able to listen to these people. So this is one part. And the thing that another part is when the students will come to have hands-on knowledge on social business. Yunus Center will take them to the businesses in the field to help them to understand what is the practical aspect of running, aspects of running social business, and they'll be able to talk to the owners as well as the beneficiaries of social business. So this aspect will help them to understand the practical aspects of the social business or the management part of or the even day-to-day, the difficulties that owners face in terms of running a social business or running social business. So these things they will be able to learn. So basically, two roles. One is the supervisory role, with respect to managing the program, running the program according to the principles of formulated by Professor. The second part is getting involved directly in the program with respect to teaching and supervising the students. So these are the two roles. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. I think most of the people has confusion and they get confused with social entrepreneurship. It is a vast area and they have several understanding regarding this. Since Yunus Center will be there and the right message will be distributed among the students and among the learners or practitioners. Okay, that's great. Thank you. I will be coming back to you again. Now I would like to go to Kalam Mackenzie, and already Gina has introduced him. He is the co-founder and director of Yunus Thailand and co-founder and managing partner of Pyramid Options. I would like to ask Kalam, would you please share the practicum of this program?
Yeah, thanks. And firstly, it's very exciting to be here. Very much appreciative of the opportunity, and also really exciting to have the opportunity to introduce this component of the program as well, because I'm rather jealous that I can't go back and do my master's and take this program myself, really. But so I think in terms of the practicum component, I can kind of walk through the different semesters and kind of take it that way. So in the first 2 semesters of the program, students will be taking the sustainability courses and also the MBA and business courses. And the practicum aspects will kind of come in bi-weekly sessions, which will be a mixture of field workshops, where we'll go and visit communities, visit social businesses in Bangkok, visit different partners like the UN system. Also a mixture of case workshops as well and case studies, and then also looking at different workshops that combine and connect the dots between the sustainability topics and the business topics, and kind of bring this into a kind of a cohesive social business kind of learning journey. So that's kind of how the practicum will look for the first 2 semesters. And then this will also be complemented by bringing in lots of experts from, the global Yunus social business family. Also Bangkok as well as a place, as a real kind of sustainability development and also business hub within Asia as well. So we have lots of networks, and we have the United Nations system here as well. So lots of kind of guest lectures, guest people, facilitators coming into these workshops. So that's the kind of how the practicum will look in those first 2 semesters. Then, as Professor Jahangir mentioned, in the inter-semester, then the practicum travels to Dhaka, to Bangladesh, where they'll have a really once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have master classes taught by Professor Yunus himself, which is incredibly generous of him to provide his time. But along those kind of masterclasses with Professor Yunus. There's also sessions with different Grameen CEOs and different Bangladesh social business leaders. And then also, as Professor Jahangir mentioned as well, visiting the field, visiting, these really incredible and inspiring social business success stories, in Bangladesh, and which is, which the whole world kind of looks to. And then after this kind of inter-semester period, then the students come back to Bangkok. And that's where the kind of practicum takes on the Sandbox component then. And I think Dr. Lakeesha might touch on this a little bit later, but basically this is where, the students will start developing their social business idea themselves. So there'll be different practical workshops and different aspects and different components of a business plan. And then also developing this, and then the post-program, because actually the practicum component doesn't just finish when the master's finishes. This then also connects the students onto Social Business Day, onto the Global Social Business Summit, onto the Summer of Purpose, where they can actually present and pitch and share their social businesses that they've kind of developed throughout the program as well. So there's lots of other stuff I can kind of throw in there, and it's it's something that really exciting, and it'll also be something we'll keep on adding to as it goes along as well. But that's the kind of the overview of how the practicum component of the program looks.
Okay, then what will be Yunus Foundation's components here?
Yes, I think Yunus Thailand's role is basically, I like to think of it as like we're a companion for the students whilst they go through. So, our role is to, facilitate these workshops in Bangkok and to bring in the kind of practical, kind of implementing perspectives from this, to also make our networks available to the students as well, and connect them with all the different people we work with, whether that's leaders, but also community members as well, so they can get kind of first-hand experience. And also to, be a bridge for the students from the master's program into the kind of the global social business family as well. So I think we play a bit of a dynamic role in this, and then also, we help, connect between the components in Bangkok and in Bangladesh as well, and work hand in hand with our brothers and sisters in AIT and in the Yunus Center in Dhaka to kind of develop the program, all the way through in a kind of a cohesive learning journey.
Okay, that will be great, I think. Okay, now I would like to go to Dr. Lakeesha Ransom. Lakeesha Ransom is the Director of Enterprise Engagement at AIT School of Management. Dr. Lakeesha, what will be your engagement strategy for this program?
Thank you so much, Dr. Farhana. So in terms of engagement, as the colleagues have mentioned, and as Professor Yunus has mentioned as well, the learning happens in the classroom, but really we believe that the true learning happens when students have the opportunity to engage with the broader network within our community. So we have partners within the AIT ecosystem, as well as within the Yunus network, who will collaborate with the students, particularly once they get to the Sandbox phase of the program, as Callum has just mentioned, because this is when they have the opportunity to start building out their own social businesses and designing their business model canvas and really getting as many inputs from as many experts as possible so that they can have those perspectives built into their businesses as they develop the strategy. And so our network of partners consists of entrepreneurs. They consist of established companies and corporations in some cases that are really committed to impact in the impact space. And so understanding that people within the corporate sector often have skill sets and passions to do something bigger than their regular day job, if you will. And so we have people who have eagerly volunteered to collaborate with our students in this program. to help them to create the most robust social businesses on the ground, particularly, as I said, in the Sandbox portion. And then the final stage is that students also have the opportunity to participate in our incubator program here at the Asian Institute of Technology. And so within our Entrepreneurship Center, we incubate companies, startups, whether they are traditional startups or certain startups in the social business space. And so the students in our program here in the Yunus Professional Masters in Social Business and Entrepreneurship also have the opportunity to take the businesses that they've designed throughout the course of their program, with the emphasis being during the Sandbox portion of the program, and start to incubate them and pilot and learn from, the experiences that they have on the ground.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lakeesha. It's really amazing to hear about Sandbox and incubator option. I think it's innovative to this course. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to go to Professor Mokbul. Professor Mokbul is the Faculty and Academic Program Chair at AIT School of Environment Resource and Development. And previously, Dr. Mokbul was an assistant professor in Bangladesh at the Department of Geography and Environment, University of Dhaka. And he has vast experience in also in civil servant in the Ministries of Public Administration and Commerce. And now, Professor Mokbul, would you please explain what sustainability issues you are addressing through this program?
Thank you very much, Dr. Farhana. Also, it's a privilege to talk in a session where Professor Yunus sir is there. Anyway, the quick answer to it is that, as Dr. Faiz has mentioned, our School of Environment, Resources and Development is mostly focused on the areas of engineering, development, and particularly social science and development areas. So what exactly we do in terms of sustainability, it means that both, for example, in agriculture, we have a very strong program on agriculture and food engineering. We also have a strong program in environmental engineering. So you can see in terms of sustainability, we do teach and we do research in areas, for example, the marine plastic abatement, and at the same time working on energy issues, particularly working on sustainable energy and particularly renewable energy. So all those issues are, dealt with in our school in terms of teaching and also research. At the same time, the areas of the community work, working with the communities, natural resources, we have a very strong program called Natural Resources Management, for example. So these are some of the key areas of sustainability we do teach and research in our school. So I'm sure our students and friends who will be joining us in our future, I would say intakes, I'm sure they will be benefited from learning the areas of sustainability where we do teach and research.
Thank you, Professor Mokbul. So I think indeed the leaders that you are going to create, they will obviously focus on the 3 zeros. Through the sustainability issues, they will cover the zero net carbon emissions, and through the program, they will also learn to unleash their entrepreneurial capacities, and also they will contribute for poverty reduction. Okay, thank you. One more question to you. AIT is renowned in the field of technology, right? So what technological components you would cover in this program?
That is, as I told you, that our school particularly, to be very specific, it is a very wonderful mixture of both technology development areas. So it ranges from food production, value chain, to environmental engineering, for example. We also have strong program on energy and all those areas. I think we have I would say, very good package of courses where I think our students can choose from based on their own interest. Say, for example, somebody wants to go further on, I would say, developing enterprises for renewable energy, for any kind of production and recycling and other areas, reusing of resources. They can take courses and modules from those particular programs, and I'm sure they'll be benefited from that based on their own interest and future plan beyond the regular master program that we are starting next week.
That's great. Now I would like go back to Dr. Faiz Shah. Dr. Faiz Shah, in traditional business, we have the opportunity to learn about business and management, right? So how does this program make a difference to the existing MBA degree? And what is very unique to this program?
Right. Well, that's a great question, because one thing that we considered when we were trying to design this program was that it should not be a dead-end program. It should be a program that, rather than closing doors for students, opens doors to people. So we are integrating regular MBA coursework into the degree, so that people who are part of the Yunus Professional Masters program are in tune with exactly what is being taught at the top business school in the country. At the same time, they take regular Masters in Sustainability program courses at the School of Environment, Resources and Development, so that they are mainstreamed into the learning environment for sustainability. There are no shortcuts. This is a rigorous program. It's not for people who are thinking, oh, we'll just go in and have a great time. Yes, you will have a great time, but in the learning rigor that we provide. And so that's one thing. And the exit points for this program are also designed to keep in mind students who do not wish to spend one straight year in their school. So it's a calibrated program. You can jump in and jump out of the program. You get up to 4 years to complete the masters, but there are exit points where you can leave with certificates and you can leave with professional credentials as you move. So we have tried to create a program which makes a lot of sense to a lot of career trajectories, and it fits into most of the modern choices that young people are making of going to school and working, going to school and paying as they go, going to school and still maintaining their aspirations to become entrepreneurs, but having to look for a job in a job market that's very crowded. So what I try to convey here is that we've designed this program for versatility, for a dynamic job market, but eventually for people who will want to follow in the footsteps of some of the most change-making social business entrepreneurs that you will meet. And it's all guided by the vision of social business that we have from Professor Yunus. I hope that answers some of the questions.
Okay, thank you, Faiz Shah. You have mentioned some rigorous opportunities of this program. Now, I would also like to ask Kolam Makiti again. In order to get the audience involved in it, would you please tell us something? What will be the powerful opportunities of this program in addition to Faiz Shah?
Yeah, I think there's so many different opportunities. Really, just by just by having a master's program that's kind of part of both AIT as a leading university, but also really part of the global social business family as well. You have so many opportunities to have global exposure to different social businesses, different experiences all around the world. And that's kind of our jobs really as the steering committee, as the people who are kind of running this program, to basically curate those various different experiences and opportunities for you. So I think this is something we're really keen on as well in this program, is to redefine the relationship between the people who are running the program and the students. This is we really want to be with the students hand in hand and open as many doors and really facilitate a really holistic experience in many different directions. And I think Bangkok as well, and that mixture between Bangladesh and Bangkok is also really, really huge as well for people who might be joining from outside of the region, because Bangkok is the second largest center, for example, of the UN system in the world, and you have all the different international agencies in the international development sector, but also many different leading businesses here as well. So there's different exposures in that sense, and social business is really an emerging topic, an emerging sector in Thailand as well. And then of course you have this inter-semester opportunity as well. So go to Bangladesh, learn from Professor Yunus himself, learn from the green CEOs, visit social businesses on the ground into kind of the global center of social business. So I think these practical experiences combined with the really world-class academic rigor which our friends at AIT are delivering with this program, combined together opens many doors. And what we want to produce is social business doers. Now, what is a social business doer? Hopefully they go on and create social businesses themselves. But there's also huge opportunities to be social entrepreneurs if you want to go into the corporate sector, to be a social business activist within an international organization as well. So when we've talked to different organizations, different people from different sectors, they've all said that social business entrepreneurship is a really, really valuable skill set. If you want to create your own social business, but also if you go and work in a number of different job descriptions areas as well. So I think Dr. Faiz really, hit it on the head where he said, this whole degree is about opening as many doors as possible. But the key thing that it's about is really producing, doers, social business doers, which is, incredibly important, particularly in this kind of no going back context and in the kind of the global situation we're in at the moment. So there's a bit of a long answer to your question, but hopefully it's addressed some of the points.
Thank you, Palam. Now let me go to Dr. Lakeesha. Lakeesha, now let us explore some opportunities for faculties. What will be the scope for faculties from different academia networks to be involved with this program?
Yes, I think that it really is dependent on the students' interests and their passions. And we have such a wide network of faculty within AIT itself, but then also with our affiliate, university network. So there really isn't a limit. If the student is interested in agronomy and business, if they're interested in human rights and business, if they're interested in water and business, community development and business. And so it really is up to the student and their desire to create impact and the ways in which they want to create impact. And the faculty who are core to the program, we will work with the students to develop the best possible support network for them so that, they have experts who can really help to educate them. And then again, more importantly, or as importantly, to build their social businesses. So the exciting part about this program is that, yes, at the end, students will have earned a master's degree, but they also will have at least a blueprint to go out and create impact. And so that comes from having access to just phenomenal faculty experts, as well as other committed mentors within our ecosystem to help bring the students' visions to fruition. So we're really, really excited about this.
That's great. Thank you, Lakeesha. Now my question to Professor M. Jahangir Alam Choudhury. Any other opportunities available for Bangladeshi to study social business and entrepreneurship? Could you focus on that issue, please?
Okay, thank you. I'm going to answer this question from the perspective of Bangladesh. Okay, at this moment, we don't have such a program in Bangladesh like the program that we are going to have at AIT. So this is a problem, but hopefully we hope that some of the universities will follow, after seeing AIT successful with respect to this program. So this will happen in the future, hopefully. But however, with respect to training and short courses, we have some programs. For example, some of the universities that have got a course at the BBA level. One of the universities has a major in social business in the BBA program. So that means students could take that social business stream to do their major. So this is one thing. Another thing is that with respect to training programs, I would like to mention the program of Yunus International University. They have got an international training program which attracts a lot of foreign training participants. They do it annually, on a regular basis they've been doing it. And apart from Daffodil International University, we have Dhaka International University, Eastern University, East Delta universities. These universities have got some training programs. Also, they have got like a course in the BBA program to teach. So, okay, so we have got like some short programs, but not at the extent of AIT right now. But hopefully, we'll be able to convince some of the universities in Bangladesh to offer such a degree program, degree awarding program in social business in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One more thing I want to know is, can any university of Bangladesh provide the same program in collaboration with AIT? I think Faiz Shah can also answer this. Is there any opportunity to provide this in collaboration with you?
Absolutely. In fact, as maybe we will find out in the coming months, a number of our YSBC partner universities are now engaging with us. And the original intent of this program, Dr. Farhana, was to make it a truly global and mobile program. So we are heading hopefully in a direction where people can take courses in different universities and still be able to qualify for a credible master's degree. But that's in the future. So as we speak, we are in negotiations, or not negotiations, but conversations with a number of YSBC partners, where we will be able to offer modules or invite students to join AIT's programs to gain credit. And finally, the Yunus colloquium in Dhaka is open to everybody. So we will hopefully, by the time next June rolls over and the colloquium is established, we will invite applications from all the 92 universities within the Yunus Social Business Center network and outside, particularly Bangladeshi universities and Thai universities, to join the summer program so that they can all be part of a larger crowd. And then part of that will also translate into some of these students going back and joining the Sandbox module, which is the third semester add-on professional module for students. So hopefully this will create more awareness and more demand, and that will churn, as Professor Jahangir just said, more demand for other universities to begin step-ladder efforts, which will create a truly global program. So that's where we hope to take this eventually.
Okay, thank you, Faiz. Then let me ask Dr. Mokbul Ahmed, how courses are run during this COVID situation, especially field study or field visit?
Yeah, thank you. Two questions, I think, in one question. One is the regular teaching and also the field trip. Let me go one by one. First one is, I think all of us know that the COVID situation is, is quite varied across the world. But here in Thailand, it is quite alarming now. Frankly speaking, there is a nighttime curfew in Bangkok for the last couple of days. Maybe it will continue for a couple of weeks. As far as I can understand now. So we actually, during this pandemic time, we had two modes of learning in EIT. One is online teaching, another was hybrid teaching. So online teaching was mostly that all students only can join the lecture online. So mostly by Zoom. So we teach. We did not disrupt our regular, teaching. That means our regular, lecturing and exams all were held on time, but it was mostly online. And of course, exams are also online, particularly for example, ExamNet, all the other softwares we used. At the same time, when there are some better times last year and sometime this year, we had the hybrid teaching. One was that some students could join online, some students could come to the classroom to join the lectures. So that is called hybrid. So EIT has developed more than I think 10 or 11 classrooms across the campus, because we are small, we are a graduate school, we don't have undergraduate program. So all these hybrid classrooms are equipped in this way. The students can come to the classroom at the same time they can join the lecture from there. And then the second part of the question, the issue of field work, you can understand because of the pandemic, mobility is heavily restricted, and only possible, I can tell you one or two cases, including in my own program, we have a workshop course. We took a special permission and it was quite difficult, but thanks to our partners, they allowed us to visit with due precaution. But in most cases, you understand our field trips are very limited. In most cases, we use the online mode we use the, I would say IT as a services, so that talking to people and communicating. So that's how we are managing. But I think you also know that another major part of AIT, teaching and learning is the research component. So most students here, they do thesis, they do research study, they do internship, they do practicum, and they mostly do it on their own. And I'd say in collaboration with the faculty members and external experts. That's how we are continuing during the pandemic, more than 1 year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One more question to you. The courses that you have designed, could you please give a brief idea about the courses that you are offering, and how does it make a social entrepreneur leader?
Thank you. Again, two parts of I will break it in two parts of the question. First is the courses we have, at the same time the entrepreneurship, particularly social entrepreneurship. So I think if you look at our courses in my school, where that means this steering committee we worked on, so that we can really help our students to equip properly for the entrepreneurship idea and practice. It is a combination of both theory, but very limited, mostly on practice. We will be giving case studies, we'll be organizing classroom debates, discussions, so that students can get knowledge about the recent debates, and particularly empirical work done on some of the recent models and experiments. At the same time, they will themselves also do their own exercise to learn what exactly we can go ahead in terms of particularly their own career. Say, for example, somebody wants to become an entrepreneur on energy related issues. I'm sure they will prefer to take courses from sustainable energy, renewable, all both the areas of the production, at the same time other areas of energy debate. We also have climate change program, where we have courses on adaptation, mitigation. Those who are interested in that, they can take courses like that, just for example. Those who are more focused on environmental issues, as I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, they can also take 1 or 2 courses on environmental management, environmental engineering issues, say, for example, marine plastic and other issues. We have a very big program on marine plastic abatement, mostly funded by the Japanese government. A good number of students are taking that program. And I think this, I would say next week, that is our main intake in AIT. Around 30 students are joining AIT for this only marine plastic program, which is a combination of both classroom teaching, at the same time working in the factories, of course, in Thailand, you understand. So if they take courses, I'm sure they will learn by working in the factory level, industry level, to learn the link between the industry and, of course, the academia. Thank you.
So it is not going to be fixed. I think the students will have some flexibility to choose among the alternatives, right? Okay, that will be great.
Based on their own interests. So, for example, as I told you, somebody wants to be more focused on reuse, recycling areas. So they will take courses which are focused on those issues. Those who want to be, say, for example, working on issues which will be mitigating the climate change challenges, they will be taking modules which are mostly energy, and particularly energy and mitigation focused courses. Those who want to do more on, for example, very much social science based, they can take courses or modules from gender and development studies and development planning studies, disaster management, for example. We have a very strong disaster management program. So they can take courses for risk reduction, disaster management program, particularly preparedness, and of course, post-disaster reconstruction areas.
Oh, wow, that's great. So it is, I think it's really amazing that through the course you are going to offer, it will obviously create a new breed of leaders who will be equipped with right mix of entrepreneurial skill, knowledge, and creativity, and who will be passionate to create a positive and sustainable impact on the society. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we are at the end of the session. So let us check the Q&A session, whether there is any question. Let me check. A question has came. Who can take admission in this program? Is there any age limit or any other professional requirement for choosing this course? I mean, choosing this program?
Maybe I can take that, if that's okay. Now, this is a professional program. and there is no age restriction specific. In fact, AIT doesn't have any age-determined degree programs, and all we need is a good undergraduate education from a reasonably good university and an English language score which is acceptable to international universities. Those are the only two fixed prerequisites. But a lot depends on your statement of purpose and how you are reflecting your experience and your aspirations for this program. That's also key determinant. So we are trying to again bring down the barriers of entry to master's level education. The rest of AIT has very rigorous standards for specialized programs. But in this particular case, the focus is on what you are able to imagine as your aspirational goals. And of course, keep the minimum educational requirement that is necessary for all good graduate education.
Okay, then let me take the next question. What about the tuition fees? Is there any provision for getting any scholarship from this program?
Again, I'll take that as well. Right now, the tuition fee is in Thai baht is 18,000 baht per credit. So this is a program is 30 credit hours. So that's the standard AIT fee. This year, we have not been able to marshal any financial support for incoming students. But as we move ahead, as more students join, and as the program becomes more mainstream, we have great hopes that there will be sponsored scholarships available for students of this program. But this is the first cohort, and we are all excited to have them, but unfortunately, we're not able to give them any direct financial support. But it will change as we move ahead.
Okay, I can see one more question. Is it possible to upload the whole course content in a website so that the interested people can get the glimpse of the master degree program without having field work and practical work? Is it available through your website?
I was going to say that Callum has just shared the Yunus Masters website for you. It's in the chat box. So please go and visit that site. It's a very detailed description that we have for every course that is offered. And it also provides how these courses integrate through the practicum. And there is a list of faculty, and there is a list of partner institutions who are possibly going to become internship or field visit partners. And so all that information is available. We've tried to make it as comprehensive as possible. But please do write to us if there is another question. In fact, there is another question here in the chat box that talks about sharing the details of the Sandbox. We will definitely respond to this in detail to Qasim's question. But if other people have any specific questions, please pop us an email, and we'll send you as much detail as you require. Yeah.
I think Column can answer, or Ms. Lakeesha can answer this question. Detail about Sandbox. I think audience want to know more about it and what to expect out of it.
Yes, I can answer, and Callum, if you'd like to contribute, please feel free to do so. So the Sandbox is really designed to be a way for students to take all of the information that they learned in their coursework and apply it to their own unique vision, something that really motivates and inspires them. So it is more self-directed with the guidance of a faculty advisor and a network of mentors and supporters to help them to build out their vision for their social business, the type of impact they would like to create. So while the coursework, the traditional coursework, there are 12 credits that students will take from the School of Management, 12 credits that students will take from School of Environment and Natural and Resource Development. And then the Sandbox is really a more self-directed opportunity for students to hone in on maybe something that they learned in a class, maybe something that they're really passionate about now. And, you know, they really develop their understanding of the challenges and understanding of the opportunity. And so the Sandbox really, you know, I guess if we think about a more traditional master's degree program and how students more often than not, they choose their thesis topic based on the interest area that they have. This is an applied opportunity for students to not only select a project, but a project that has a strong, you know, potential to really come to fruition. Callum, if there's anything else that you would like to contribute to this, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's already really brilliant. I mean, the only thing I would add is that, you know, the Sandbox is also not just staying in a room as well. You know, a key part of that Sandbox as well is, you know, looking at design thinking methodologies, you know, where actually the first step and the most important step is going out and visiting and experiencing people who are experiencing the problem that you're trying to solve through your social business as well. So empathizing, you know, with people who are having that problems, then coming back, defining what you exactly want to address, and then as quickly as possible, developing some form of, you know, minimum viable product, developing a small pilot to go out and test your social business with people again. So I think it's the Sandbox is going to be a very human experience where you're going to be interacting with lots of people, and at the same time you're going to be there in a cohort with all these different people also going through the same journey as well, you know, maybe in different areas. There's a really fantastic opportunity to learn from people as they're also going through the journey. And then, yeah, as Dr. Lakeesha mentioned as well, you have the mentors, you have the facilitators, you have the faculty experts there to kind of unpack and guide and not necessarily teach at this point, but just to enable you to kind of unpack and develop the different components of a business plan so that your social business experience and knowledge and learning journey comes together into a kind of a really actionable kind of end product by the time you graduate. So yeah, I think if that—
Dr. Farhana, may I take, just to add to this, there are 7 skills seminars that are part of the Sandbox that will run in parallel to whatever Dr. Lakeesha and Callum have said. So as people are developing their social business plan, as they're taking the design thinking sessions and so on, for every seminar, there is a matching component of the business plan that they will have to prepare. So it's actually an assisted learning design. And the final exam is basically the presentation or pitching of that business idea to independent observers, ideally in the Social Business Summit every year. So it's as described, but it's also got a structured, it's got a ladder of learning also designed into that.
Okay, thank you. We think we are at the end of the session. So at this stage, I would like to hand over this session to Ms. Jinat. Jinat, are you here? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ms. Dr. Farhana, Ferdousi, and to all our speakers. This has been a really great and informative session. I think we discussed some of the important aspects of the program, but I'm sure a lot of people want to know much more in details, for which I request everyone to please check their website. I think that has the complete information. Meanwhile, I have received requests from other YSBCs interested in developing master's program, and from Malaysia, Nepal, and I'm sure we can all work together to make this happen. Not only one master's program, but many, many more. And I'm sure we will have to reach out to you all very soon to get your advice. And with that, if while there's the master's program, and to our audience members who want to check out these through the website, if you are not able to access any of those, there's always still resource in our social businesspedia, our lecture series that we're having, like this one. This is the 21st one, but we have had 20 more before this. All these are available on our social businesspedia, our social media. You can check out the recordings on social businesspedia and hear directly from the social business entrepreneurs talk about their business. And we of course have Professor Yunus's books and our resource materials available on the website if you need more information. So thank you very, very much again to all our respected speakers today and to our respected moderator. Thank you very much for your time. And with this, we conclude our session today. Now I kindly request the IT team to play a slideshow on our upcoming events and lectures coming up. Thank you very much. Please play the slideshow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. See you again.